So today we're going to do a cannellini bean hummus. And if you've ever had hummus, which is essentially just ground up beans with a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of lemon juice, and sometimes some flavorings. Typically most hummuses that you would buy in a grocery store are made up with garbanzo beans or a chickpea. And that's a great source of protein, great source of nutrients. I've tried a different variant of a chickpea hummus, and so today we're going to be doing a cannellini bean. And I love cannellini beans because they're just a really buttery Italian bean. You'll see cannellini beans that are made in Italian dishes. It's often found in a lot of pasta dishes and whatnot. So I like trying hummus with the cannellini bean. You could also use a black bean. You could do a black bean hummus. You could do essentially any sort of bean hummus. So it doesn't have to be a garbanzo bean. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 1/4 cup of olive oil and I'm going to put it into a little saute pan. And the reason why I'm doing this is because we're going to roast some garlic in it. And when you roast garlic, it actually takes on a much, I think, richer and also not as strong of a flavor as if you had a raw garlic. So you could add raw garlic and raw olive oil to our food processor when we blend it all together if you didn't want to saute it first. But I think when you saute it, you actually help to soften the flavor of the garlic and also give it a richer flavor. So we're just going to add some garlic, and I did 3 cloves. And we're going to let that saute for a little bit, and only for a minute or two. And again, it just helps to take the edge or the bite off of the garlic, so that way when we add it to our hummus, it's not going to be too strong of a flavor. So I have that on medium-high heat, and we're just going to watch it and make sure that the garlic doesn't brown, because no one wants burnt garlic. That takes on a whole new flavor. You know, another advantage to hummus is a lot of people sometimes have a hard time shifting away from putting mayonnaise or other heavier spreads on their sandwiches. And so if you do like a creamy spread on a sandwich, sometimes the hummus is a great alternative. So instead of using something like mayonnaise, which is going to add some of the not so heart healthy fats like a saturated fat, if we add hummus, not only are we adding the healthy fats like the polyunsaturated fatty acids that are going to come from the olive oil, but we're also adding some protein, which is another important nutrient for us as well. So hummus can be a great addition to a sandwich. You can just use it as a vegetable dip. So if we're trying to get more vegetables in our diet and we want them as a snack, we can dip our vegetables in hummus. So it's ready to go. I'm just going to scoop out the garlic. We're going to add it to the food processor. Now you could add some roasted red pepper flakes. I'm going to omit it today because I know my audience doesn't like spicy things. But if you just wanted a little bit of a kick, you could add roasted red pepper. Now it doesn't matter if we don't get all of the garlic out of here, because eventually we're going to add this olive oil to our food processor. Now if you don't have a food processor, some people have had success with making hummus in a blender, and that's just fine. You're going to want a good quality blender for that, but blenders usually can work for that. So we got the major garlic chunks out of there. Now I'm just going to add, what I have here is 2 cups cannellini beans. I like to make my own cannellini beans because, again, I think it just has a better flavor. But if you're in a pinch and you want to use canned cannellini beans, that's just fine too. You can get whole cannellini beans in the bulk food section, such as Whole Foods, or you can get canned cannellini beans in just about any grocery store. So that was 2 cups of cooked cannellini beans, which is just a little bit more than 1 can. You could just use 1 can if you wanted, and it would be a little bit less than what the recipe calls for. Or you could use some fresh baked 2 cups of cannellini beans. So we have our garlic, we have our cannellini beans. We're going to start pureeing it, and I'm going to actually take the top. I'm going to take the top off. I'm going to take this out so I can add ingredients as it's pureeing. So turn it on. I'm going to add our garlic and our olive oil. Add some roasted red bell pepper, just 2 roasted red bell peppers. That helps to give it a little bit more flavor. Add a lemon, juice of a lemon. gonna make sure it's getting spread around. So if you have a spatula or a spoon, anything will work. You just want to make sure everything is getting blended together and chopped up. Now roasted red bell peppers, I don't make my own. You can. It takes a little bit of time. So you can just get them in a jar. Sunflower markets, Whole Foods, other grocery stores will sell roasted red bell peppers. Much easier to use than your own. But if you want to use your own, it would have a better flavor. So it's all mixed up. Pour it into our bowl. And it's funny, everyone's so impressed if you tell them that you've made your own hummus. If you go to a party and you're asked to bring an appetizer, you bring some hummus and some veggies. Everyone's so impressed, but it took not even 5 minutes to make, so it's really easy. And what's great about it is that it usually makes leftovers, so you can use it throughout the week. Again, for sandwiches, for snacks with vegetables, really for anything that you like to use a creamy spread for. So, you take a look at that. It has a nice, rich red flavor, and that's going to come from the red bell peppers. You could also use sun-dried tomatoes from a jar if you wanted to do that, or you could just do plain hummus and just have the lemon and the garlic flavor. You could flavor it with anything you wanted. I've seen eggplant hummus, so you could do some roasted eggplant. Any sort of vegetable you want to add in there would add some good flavor. So there you go. It's quick and easy. I'd store it in the fridge. It'll last for a week or two. And then again, it's great with just about any dish.